Estamos de nuevo.
Un episodio más
De no.
Pues Guau.
Woo!
Oh wait, I usually say it more like in like a
Pues Guau.
Pues Wow, or I don't know, I say more like high pitched. I want to say that's usually how I like to say Pues Wow.
Pues wow. Bueno, raza, bienvenidos a un episodio más de No Pues Wow. We are back and in action with our great friend Chris the Realtor.
Yes.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
Thank
We
you
are
for
back.
being back. We really appreciate it.
You want to know something really funny about Chris? That I know him as Chris the Realtor and not Chris Ortiz. I really don't know him as Chris Ortiz. I'm just like, Chris the Realtor. Like, that's your last name now.
That's a good point. That's beautiful. That's how I want to be
The
known.
Realtor.
That's perfect.
And it's really great when you're, you know, with talking about, hi, I'm Chris the Realtor, like kind of like introducing yourself in that sense. So people are like, oh, wait, that's the, you know, the Realtor.
I like that.
I mean, your whole identity isn't that. You have your own, but it's definitely like Chris
Sure.
the Realtor. That's how I know you. My whole family knows you like that.
I just need the rest of the world to know me as Chris the Realtor.
Chris the Realtor.
Exactly.
Bueno, pues, Raza. Regresamos a un episodio más. And today we are going to do a little bit of a different episode with Chris.
Yeah.
It's going to be more of a life one. It's going to be a little beautiful balance of life, small business ownership, real estate, and social media.
Yeah. We previously had him on like, I want to say, was it 2 or 3 episodes?
I think it was one of
two.
the first
Two.
two
So we had a
episodes.
part 1 and a part 2.
Yeah, we did a part 1
But
and a
like
part
a long
2,
time
and
ago.
we talked about real estate, and kind of like first time home buyer, kind
Interest
of.
rates
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The pros,
and
the cons.
exactly, yeah. We did dedicate 2 episodes for that, so I'll link them down below. And this time, like she said, we're gonna kind of shift things a little bit. We kind of gave you guys a little hint last time that he was here, that he was initiating his company. So it's been about a year now.
I
So
think a little bit over a year. Yeah.
over a year. Yeah. So we got some, you know,
Crazy.
you have to update us on how that
Absolutely.
is going. And yeah.
Absolutely.
We are very excited to talk about that because it's such a flex to be so young and to be a small business owner and to like be successful because you're, you know, that carrot that we're all chasing is success.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it's cool. It's inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. If we're going to
You're
have people,
killing it.
Trying to.
si vamos a tener gente en el podcast, queremos que sea gente that's like inspiring that, you know, we can look up to and things like that. And you're that person.
I love
Yeah.
you guys.
So without further ado,
course.
let's cheers. We had a little
Let's
Instagram
cheers.
story before, but here's a little mimosa action. Michelle's pregnant, so
You know how I be rolling with virgin drinks.
rolling with the virgin drinks. She rolls with the virgins now.
The irony.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
La ironía. Bueno, pues, let's start with how have you felt being a such a young small business owner, and where were you a year ago when we had you here, and where is your business and company now? You can reintroduce it
Sure.
and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, last time I was on here, we had just started launching the new brokerage, BW & Co. Real Estate here in Sonoma County. Back then, we were still dealing with branding and everything. My partner and now broker, Bradley Wilkinson, didn't have his broker's license. He was currently still going for it. So
Right.
we didn't have the office, didn't have the brokerage, but we were working behind the scenes on the branding and the logo, what we wanted to stand for. And we poured a lot of hours and a lot of premature kind of hours planning all that and really, really kind of diving deep on what do we want to stand for. And yeah, kind of fast forwarding a little bit, broker got his broker license, which is fantastic because otherwise I would not be able to say I am the realtor for BW & Co. or anything. So big props, big shout out to him, you know, taking all that on. He's younger than I am. I think he's 28 years old and you know, he's gone a lot more success than I am and put himself out there. And yeah, fast forwarding till now. We have our office. It's in Renner Park on the golf course. We're super blessed to have that. The views are amazing. The vibe. We need to have you over there. I know Michelle's been
Yeah,
there.
I haven't been invited.
Oh.
It is what it is. You know
Oh my
what?
God, I just
I'm
stepped on
not-
my own toes.
I have not been. And then cigars. They smoke
Hold
cigars.
on, this is not my beef.
Oh,
She's gonna step out. We're gonna fight it out here.
Yeah, I'm gonna just
We're gonna fight
leave
it
you
out.
guys to the ring here.
it is like, and then I've never been golfing, and he goes golfing all the time. And my cousin goes, Joel, you go golfing too. And I told you to take me. You haven't fucking taken me yet. Anyways,
You golf.
we're not gonna get violent right now, guys.
I know, I'm like,
It's a
sheesh.
beautiful day. It's sunny.
Beautiful day. It's Saturday. There's
We're-
sun.
We got
mimosas.
champagne. Yeah, we're not gonna
Mimosas?
get violent, but you haven't taken me. I also I'm not buying a house.
Not yet. Not yet.
But
well, you have some stuff going on. I mean, you have.
I live in my truck right now. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. No, I know.
Yeah, but you're going for something big though.
Yeah, that's long haul.
House comes later.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going for a husband and kids right now. No. I don't even have to. I don't ever want to buy a house.
No?
I don't. I want someone else to buy me a house.
That's good.
I want someone to buy me a ranch, a big ranch. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. We're getting sidetracked.
Oh, yeah,
Anyways,
it's my fault.
I haven't been to smoke cigars with you.
We will. I brought 2 today, so we'll have to change that. I brought 2 ranches today.
Okay.
I got you covered. I figured that was going to come up.
Take advantage.
Take advantage.
You still can.
I'm finally going to feel like a cubana. Es que tú eres cubano. Me voy a sentir como una cubana. But anyways.
So fast forwarding, kind of stumbling off what I said earlier. So yeah, we got the whole thing painted, got a new office, and
nice.
The biggest thing on why we did that, and it's a very bold move. Everybody and their mother wants to be a realtor, and then all of a sudden wants to start their own business and their own brokerage. I think where we kind of separate ourselves, and this may sound cliche and been there, done that, but we are literally trying to low-key change the perception and change the game a little bit. You walk into a stereotypical real estate office and there's just white walls, cubicles. It's quiet, suit and tie. I'm always in my shorts in a decent, I dress proper, but more business casual.
Right. Business casual.
Because I want people to feel that I'm very approachable.
Yeah.
And I want people to feel comfortable and confident.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Not afraid or intimidated.
Yeah.
I have dumb questions and I don't have money. He doesn't have time for me, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say that, if I may chime in, because I never actually even noticed that I feel like when you're dealing with someone or working with someone and they have like this super high, like I'm up here and I know what I'm doing, it's kind of intimidating to ask those questions because it's like, oh my God, I don't know. I feel like this is a stupid question for someone like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's absolutely the vibe that you provide, like you present yourself. I'm like, hey,
Very
I'm approachable.
approachable.
I'm here for you.
Right.
So I love that.
That is amazing to be approachable in that sense, because you want to feel, and this is like what you and I have always talked about, like being it's just not, you don't have to act like you're this big hot shot. I feel like you need to be approachable and you need to be understanding, and what you are is relatable. You always try to relate to every client. You try to find a commonality between you guys.
Exactly.
And you with everything, with conversations. You're very good with people and you're very good with conversation. And I think that relatability is so important to have in this industry.
It is.
It helps to build easy, organic rapport.
It's not, I'm providing you a service. It's let's work together. Let's get to know each other. We're going to be doing business together. It's kind of more a partnership what you're doing than I'm providing you a service. It's X, Y, and Z. You have to do that. It's not you're not going to your accountant.
The normal real estate agent will ask that first timer or whatever, are you pre-approved? Yes or no? No? Okay, then go get pre-approved, then talk to me.
Yeah.
That's the opposite. That should be the opposite. They're coming to you for guidance.
They feel like, oh shit, I'm not good enough to buy a house, or I'm not ready enough. Exactly. And it's like,
that's the part that pisses me off. I mean, you're the professional, and this consumer has no idea what they're doing. And like you said, 9 times out of 10, the traditional real estate agent, if you're not pre-approved, then in their eyes,
they're like, it's a waste of my time.
Because they have a business mindset, and always everything's numbers. And you got to remember, we don't get paid by the hour. We always get paid at the very, 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 very end of everything.
Right.
And we always have to put the time in, the energy, the emotions, the money. If I'm representing a seller, with marketing, photos, everything. And then time, obviously. That's unfortunately what a lot of realtors do. And I've gotten approached and I've had beers. I've had people DM me saying, I reached out to 2 or 3 different guys or girl or women, whatever. And they either don't have the time, or, they ask immediately if I'm pre-approved. And if I'm not, then they'll say, come back to me when you are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And I listen to that. I'm a very good listener and I love reverse engineering.
Yes.
So now I'm just I'm going to do the opposite.
Yeah.
And everybody just,
it just shows in your business and everything.
I'm not looking at this. I'm not looking at you and Krishna as a check. I'm looking at you guys as I need to develop a relationship with you guys, and I genuinely like and eventually ended up loving you guys.
Hence why
family.
He is here. That is the perfect. Everything he's talking about. He's been in the family and in the friendship of the family for a year and since you guys bought the house.
Yeah. I feel like if I have a bad day, let's say Monday, I have a horrible day.
Yeah,
I feel confident and comfortable that I can call either one of you and talk and say, hey, I need to have a beer and chat with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the beautiful part of what we do in just the industry overall is you have to develop relationships. Whereas, the traditional people will just kind of do I'm here just for the A to Z to get your sale done. And after that, I'll give you a $250 Home Depot gift card and, good luck. Yeah. Call me when you need me. And by the way, refer me to all your friends. You know what I mean? Right. I love, I have a very small little, this is more of a personal thing, but I have a very small clique and family, so I absolutely cherish who I can kind of develop relationships with and have my peeps, that want to win and have that similar vibe and goals, if you will, around me. So that's that's just a win-win for me personally.
Hell
obviously.
Yeah. And as you get older, your circle closes. It shouldn't be like my circle.
It does.
No, as you get older, your circle closes, and those who matter, the high value people, the high quality people in your life that are going to serve in your life are the ones that matter, and they're the ones that should stay. Yeah. And I love that.
Well said.
I love that so much.
Well said.
So let's talk. We talked a little bit about BW & Co. It's very different. It's very approachable. It's very millennial. I love how it's very. I don't know. I'm walking in and just seeing the place.
Yeah,
it's just
it's almost like
you guys have a freaking little putting. What's it called? The
putting green. Yeah, we had two of them.
In the office.
One in the cigar lounge and one downstairs on the main floor.
They have a cigar lounge.
And we have a cigar lounge,
bro. And they have colors on the freaking wall.
Yeah. All the colors are meant to just match the branding and all and the logo and everything.
You know what they don't have? They don't have an Hasta la Raíz custom woodworking piece by me.
Not yet.
And we have to change that.
We do. Actually, I need to add something to my office. I need to have some kind of new addition.
Absolutely. So I will handle that for you.
I think we got to talk. All right, we'll talk.
I got him on the air, so if he's not going to back out, but if he does, I'd be like, hey, you said this.
I'll hear about it on the next podcast.
I'm ambushing you right now. No, I'm just kidding. But I love that, and it's very inspiring, especially because I'm kind of starting my own little small business, like a custom business, but it's really inspiring to see the growth and your social media. Let's talk about social media a little bit.
Let's go social media.
Your videography. I've never seen a real estate agent. I've seen videos, but I've never seen a real estate agent on the property. If you're looking for a property in beautiful Sebastopol, this is the right place for you. Personalizing it to the client, that's awesome.
Right.
And who are your videographers, first of all? Are they local? Are they small business? And how did you find them in kind of social media? Let's talk about that.
Sure. Yeah. So, Daniel Quinones with Pine Photo and Video. Big shout out to him. He handles now basically, majority of all of my listing videos. A lot of the other reels and whatnot, that's all with Thor's Media Group, and I think they're based out of Santa Rosa, and those boys kill it. Did you see my little day in the life video?
Yes, I did, and that's
maybe not the whole thing. It's
literally why we're having this podcast.
Oh, really?
But the day in the life video, it was also him talking about people thinking that on social media he didn't mean business. But having an approachable and relatable business doesn't mean you don't mean business. It means you're operating a business in a different way.
Right.
In a way that can reach more people.
And I think that's actually the video that really stemmed for us to do
this podcast.
Really? Because I had no idea.
I was he was like, I want you guys to know that I'm not all just always smoking cigars and golfing and drinking and all this stuff or whatever. Wow, I want you to know that I mean business.
You guys actually watched the whole, because I said those words at the very end of the video.
And then I DM'd him right away and I was like, listen, you do not have to. Social media has to work for you. You don't work for social media. You don't work for social media. Social media works for you. And you have to learn how to have that relationship with social media. For me, I deleted my personal. I brought it back because we want to gain a following.
She has she has this, I call it TOXICA. She has this toxicity.
The only toxic relationship I ever plan to have.
It's with her social media. But you know what? You got to respect people's wishes and how comfortable they feel. If for her personally, I felt like, you know what, if she doesn't need it right now because that's not something that is going to be beneficial for her life, then there's absolutely no need, because it could be, there's the, the dark, side to social media that is just like so shameful and, all these expectations. So like when you said that in your video, that's very, very true. It's not just what you see, here.
On social media. And like, for me, it was more so like, I'm getting older, circle's getting smaller, and it's a privilege to get to know me. It's a privilege to know what I'm up to. And I feel like I would overpost and overshare a lot of parts of my life. And I'm fucking crazy in my personality. Not a lot of people understand it. And it's a misunderstood personality, and it's been like that. But the close people, the Michelle and you guys, like the close people, they get it. They understand it a little bit. And it's important to me that those are the people that matter.
We understand it a lot.
Sure.
We just like, it's Tita, But then again, I grew up with you. And I like a sister. So it's just kind of like, to me, she's just Tita.
It's just Tita. But it's kind of like it's just Tita type of vibe.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's why I deleted it, but I'm back now, and I low-key did want to delete it, and I think once the podcast gets more followers than me, peace out, baby. Let's go. Bye.
If you don't mind me asking, so why did you delete it?
I deleted it because it was very overwhelming for me to look at my social media and say, damn, like this girl has all of these talents and these things, but then there's this whole other side of insecurity and darkness to it, and like all the pressures and everything. Like it was just, and then I watched a portion of The Social Dilemma, not the whole thing, but how they literally target you. Like you're being targeted on social media.
Documentary you're talking about?
Yes. How you're literally being targeted. And I'm like, fuck you guys. You're not going to target me. I'm going to target myself. Like what I'm going to put out is going to be shit that I want, and I want to make it work for me. And so I didn't, the woodworking page, it's really hard to not have social media when you have a small business.
Oh yeah.
And your business really not depends because it's you, but it's your social media is such a big and important factor to it.
It's almost a vehicle.
It's like a vehicle.
It's not.
It's a tool.
It's a vehicle.
It's a huge tool.
My question now: how has social media worked for you, and has it made you feel bad at times with people kind of commenting or DMing you like, oh damn, you're always smoking, or oh, this is just the perception of that?
It's worked great. I've going back to the last podcast, I think I mentioned when we talked about my history before I got into real estate, I was in marketing, so I have a big passion for that, and I love the challenge, and just I love the challenge.
Good.
But sorry, give me your question.
The question was, how has social media made you feel in your small business, and how has it like affected? How has it affected you in the sense
or benefited?
Because you did this day in the life of Chris, so people wouldn't have the perception of
we do smoke cigars and golf.
Yeah,
and drink
and you really
make
do
big checks. No, it's not.
You really do mean business.
Exactly.
Like you really do.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, the benefits. I mean, there's pros and cons, obviously.
Yeah.
The biggest benefit, obviously, like I said, it's a tool. I think I truly believe that your social media, your business page is your resume, especially from here, especially from here on out. When everybody wants to know about you, they don't call you where you used to work and get No, they look at your social media, they'll Google you and see who you are, and that's the perception of you. Is your social media, obviously. So yeah, I mean, I've done good with social media. I think I've met and gotten 6 deals and 6 paychecks in total from it.
Holy shit!
Not the best for 4 years, but it also takes time to build and get that recognition. Yeah. Obviously, I think
But it's still 6 checks that you didn't have before.
Exactly, and it's
6 business deals, 6 100%. Families, 6 clients, 6 everything.
And there's probably still more future checks to come, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's because you have to be what's called Tom. My name is Chris, but I need to be Tom. And if you don't know what that means, TOM, top of mind. And that's by being very, very, very consistent, being very relatable, being, and no bad, there's no such thing as bad publicity. If I do something to fuck up, or I post something stupid, or I go jump off a building naked,
they're going to be talking about you regardless.
I will keep growing because there's going to be more eyes on me. Right? That's the power of social media. That's the power of we're our own reality show. So everybody loves the cheese monster. Everybody loves to see what everybody's doing. So I don't care who you are.
So I just realized that I have to get a drill and drill my hand to get publicity for my woodworking page.
We need to. We should literally buy like a wax.
Crucify me.
Yeah, we should buy. You know how many views you'd get if you just started it? Okay, guys, here we go. This is how dedicated I am to my tool. You know what I mean? Even if it was fake, don't do that.
You guys want to know if the Makita 5-point amp is good? Let me show you. This is a review on the new Makitas.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding.
I got tougher skin than your dad. Let's try this out. You know what I mean? No, that's a brilliant. We should honestly do that. We should buy a wax hand, create a video. People are gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
They're gonna see.
And guess
it.
what? They're gonna remember who Tita is.
I like how you said there's no such thing as bad publicity, because when I think it hit home for me when you said it's not just this, and this, and for me it was like the perception of myself that I had on social media. It was like I'm always traveling. I'm a fucking gypsy. For those who don't know, I'm a gypsy. I'm literally always, not anymore because gas is like $7 fucking dollars. But I'm in the sense that I'm not settled down, and I'm everywhere. Mm-hmm. So like I do different things, and I love people, and I love my close circle, and my close circle isn't always super geographically close. So I'm all over the place. And
you just never know what Tita's up to.
You just never know what I'm up to.
I just don't know.
And I felt
it's
like
unpredictable.
I felt like with some, not comments, but like just vibes, it was like not okay to be like that. Mm-hmm. And that's when my social media was like, no, I don't need this shit. Bye, deuces. And then in combination with the social dilemma. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad that you're empowered by all of that, and I'm really glad that you are able to share different versions of your life, which is amazing.
For sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so kind of going back to the social media question, yeah, obviously it's a great tool to earn more business and everything. I guess that's probably the pros, and you get to naturally and organically get people that DM you and say, hey, I've been following you for a while. Can we meet up for a coffee or a beer or mimosas or whatever it is, or at the office to talk about that? And that's the goal of it. That's the beauty, and that's the ROI, the return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
After a little over 4 years of kind of going, and putting yourself out there.
Yes.
Even if it's not comfortable. You know what I mean? And then if we have to go with the cons, obviously there's a lot of noise. Nobody likes to see the little guy win. Not to get into too much of into all the politics.
We're about to go there.
Fellow agents and fellow realtors in Sonoma County.
Fuck that. Just
exactly.
kidding. No, we're not. No. We're not going to get violent. We're not going to get violent. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Yeah, you guys can. No. We don't hate. If you guys want to pour your energy into that negative, that's fine.
Yeah, no. Can't be like that.
We just look forward. Mm-hmm. Keep looking forward. Mm-hmm. And
exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, if anything, those are the pros. The cons, obviously, it's hard to put yourself out there. It's hard to put yourself out there and to take the selfies. And I was never kind of that selfie guy before I got into real estate, but no one's going to know who the hell
he has such a cute little face too. Like, why wouldn't he want to take selfies?
It took time to build it. It took time to get this beard.
Oh yeah, you didn't have
I told you guys.
Tell us the story.
Okay. We'll recap this story.
Yes.
So
finish
my first year. Hang on.
Cheers.
So my first year, going hard. I think I was. Just gracias. 8.5 months in. I didn't make any money my first 8.5 months. And poquito más. That's good.
Ya se acabó, pues.
Oh my God.
Yay! Let me get you some OJ.
Crap, what story was I telling?
Your beard.
Your first year, your beard.
Oh yeah. So here I am, 7 months in. Damn near going through relationship issues. I'm not making money. I'm frustrated. I'm thinking of potentially giving up. I wasn't going to, obviously, but we all have thoughts.
Right. You're going through a phase.
Oh yeah. The whole giving up thoughts is
it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Yeah. You just got to be mentally strong and have a mentor and have good people to surround you and keep pushing you and keep pushing you. Say, hey, we're not fucking letting you give up, fucker.
Yeah.
You guys are going to keep going. Yeah. Anyways. Well, at the end of it, I thought everything was going good. I thought I had these guys in my pocket. I was like, all right, I got my first sale. Here we go. And then at the end of the conversation, clear as day, I was across the table from them, excuse me. And they said, we have to ask you, how old are you? And I was 26, maybe 27 at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't have my beard. I had the baby face. And I obviously I was honest with them. And then right after that, guess what the question was? How many houses have you sold?
Damn.
0. So to get this thing grown, and this just probably goes like, I was willing to do whatever it freaking took.
Yeah.
Immediately after that, I was pissed off, had a couple of drinks, but then that night before I went to bed, hopped on Google and I Googled the best supplement ever to grow your beard.
Okay.
And I bought this biotin kit from Amazon that came with pills that you took every morning and every night, a cream that you put on, and boom. Then
there you go.
And that's what I started saying. So grow a beard. Grow a beard.
Grow a beard,
Amazon,
guys.
Let me take some notes for Christian.
Amazon.
That was a big challenge. Was the age for sure. when I was first starting. But then again, yeah,
That's a huge challenge for me. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Feeling like I don't, like, I'm creating these beautiful custom pieces. And if you haven't followed my woodworking page, go check it out. Check it out and then see it for yourself. And then you can follow it. But just being able to create a piece and you look at it and you're like, wow, this has this value. But what are other people going to think? Oh, she just fucking started. She doesn't even know what she's doing. She's still learning. Like, it doesn't have that value. And that's me in my head, not giving myself, I'm the woodworker that still is learning. I'm the woodworker that is still new and fresh to the game. I'm the woodworker that doesn't have the experience, and I'm a woman. So I feel, not that I'm not empowered and independent, any of that stuff, but I still feel like I was raised in this machista culture, and that my dad has told me, oh, women don't do carpentry. Women don't have a truck. Guess what I have? I have both of those fucking things, because I set my mind to it and I said, for every no, I say yes. But it's really hard to kind of, you know, when you're first starting off in the small business, and that's why we love having you here, the amount of value that you don't put to yourself. Like, no, I have to value my labor. How much was material cost? How much was my labor? How much is the actual value of this on the market? But then a balance too of me with these specific products, selling them to people who are living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people out there that live paycheck to paycheck. But if you can buy 2-3 bottles, you can buy one of my pieces. If you can buy a tequila bottle every weekend, you can buy one of my pieces, you know?
Yeah.
So I have to think about it in a very different, you know, thing.
You have to look at it from a different lens.
But starting off, it's always very hard because you don't value yourself. You're kind of in the growth process and learning.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what he says. Like, you're constantly growing, and that's you know, thank you for sharing that story. Because it proves that if you still stick to that consistency, and you continuously work on yourself, even when you feel like giving up, if you remain consistent, like, you're gonna do it. You know.
Yeah.
Chingarle.
See, you gotta, you know,
Another
break your back.
Not issue or problem, rather, but I guess con, if you will, of social media, and just the relationship we have and I've had with mine is, you're probably judging yourself more than people are judging you.
Yeah.
No fucking lies were said right there, my friend. Holy shit. Round of applause for that.
You know why? Thank you.
That's facts.
But you know why? Because I do the same thing. That video we talked about when I posted that day in the life, I was so goddamn upset. I was like, this is too long. I paid $2,400 and no one's gonna freaking watch this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Man,
you know. You have not said a single lie about that. Trust. You are your biggest judge. And I felt that too. Like, I'm like, I don't want.
That's not a bad thing. It can be.
Yeah.
But you just need to learn how to control it. It can be. And I'm extremely, even my therapist, I'll put that on camera, had told me I'm extremely and unreasonably hard on myself.
Yeah.
And I think that's just because low key, I can tell, obviously you're a perfectionist. You would not be able to be a perfectionist with doing what you do.
Yeah.
Precision, craftsmanship, which I even don't have. You ask me to build something, I will screw it up. Don't ever ask me for help. That's why I had to leave construction. Measure twice, cut once. No, I will fuck everything up. Pardon my French.
I think for my woodworking company, I think my motto is going to be stay authentic to the craft.
And here's another thing.
And always staying authentic. And one of the things I pride is authenticity.
Yes,
and
me too.
Fuck it if people judge me, but I'm going to stay authentic to my craft, to my identity, to myself. And I say that to you too.
And another thing you were saying?
Yeah, another
thing I was going to say too, just going back to what I caught a comment that you said, you know, like you're different. You kind of go against the grain. You know, you're not the, we'll call it stereotypical woman. You have a truck, you know what I mean? Yeah. People probably think of you more of as a tomboy, but where I'm getting at
I'm a tomboy.
You are a tomboy. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. Where I'm getting at is you can't try, if you try to want to please everybody on every post, you will drive yourself insane. Remember this. If you want to please everybody in the world, drive an ice cream truck.
There you go.
You're not driving an ice cream truck.
No.
Okay.
She's driving the Mamalona.
I'm driving a Mamalona.
You know what I mean? So you're never going to be able to please everybody, and you don't want to try to please everybody because it's impossible. You will fail flat.
Can't.
You will fall flat on your face.
I don't.
It's a big world. Sonoma County has a lot of people in it. You just need to find your niche.
Your niche.
That's what
you
know what I mean?
Yes.
And leverage the people that understand you to keep pumping you out more.
I think in the mindset that I have right now, and in talking about this relationship with social media, if social media is going to open me doors and views and help me, TikTok has done it for so many small businesses. It's completely transformed the fucking industry and the game.
And growth.
If you blow up on TikTok, you go from selling 100 units to like 10,000 units in a course of 6-8 months. It's fucking insane. And with growth, you lose the authenticity. You lose the detail. You lose the orient. So I want to stay like in a balance, right? I want to stay in that balance, but you can't please everybody. That's a fact. You just can't.
Yeah, you can't.
What about you, Michelle? Have you ever had a relationship with social media that's like up and down or anything like that?
When I'm kind of digesting everything that you guys are saying and what you guys are sharing, for me personally, I went through a phase when I was kind of like doing my own YouTube channel where I was kind of putting myself out there a little bit more. And, you know, I have a lot of footage that I have still yet to release as far as like working on my Jeep and doing all of these things. But I haven't been necessarily able to hone down on what I guess my niche is. So I kind of put a pause to that. I wanted to make sure I dedicated all this time to the podcast and then just kind of balanced it out in the sense that like that's going to be my focus for social media. And I'm very, very careful about what I see and, you know, kind of like, how do I put this into words? It's very, very damaging, especially on a woman. When you're like watching things and then there's all these pretty girls and then it almost builds this sense of insecurity in yourself. Even though you're like, no, but I'm literally like, I feel good about myself, you know? And then all of a sudden you watch all these things and then people only post what you want them to see. And so a lot of the times you don't see what happens behind closed doors. So for me, when I'm watching social media or I'm scrolling through pages, you know, I do it more so for like my family and like the people that I love, catching updated. Up. Yeah. And then on TikTok, it's like all I have. It's like if you go down like my algorithm, it's just like all animals.
Mine's food. You know? Mine's food. Mine's recipes and food.
I
have like cleaning hacks. Because, you know, Senora life. I have the juicing and how to, you know, maintain a good, healthy weight, especially I've recently developed a postpartum, you know, like juicing kind of life and stuff like that. So it's just like, you know, I'm like, shit, you know, I think I want to say I have a pretty healthy relationship with social media. I recently went from having my page being like labeled as a business from public now more to like private because of what you just said.
I didn't realize that you went private.
I recently just did it, I want to say like middle of last week or this week, because I was like, you know what, like these are precious things that I want to kind of like just share, very intimate. And then whenever I'm ready to make that public step, whenever I have something to truly offer for everybody else, then I'll go ahead and do it. Because I want to say when I was trying to grow my page, I went and really promoting myself. I went from like 500, you know, followers on Instagram. I don't have a whole lot of them, but I grew it within a matter of months from like 500, to like 400 to like 1,000. Yeah. And I mean, it's slowly like, you know, sometimes it's like you gain some and then you lose some. It's almost like people like wake up and follow you and then they wake up the next day and then like, you know,
the thing about Instagram, sorry to interrupt, but the thing about Instagram too is that you're literally seeing a limited number of your followers. You're not seeing 800 followers worth of posts or however many people you're following.
10% is what it is.
Fucking insane. So what the fuck is the point of having like 20,000 if they're only 10% of those people are going to see your like it's weird. It's unless you're fucking Kylie Jenner and shit. But it's weird, you know? Yeah. So I agree with what you were saying, like
and so basically for me it's not something that I feel like, you know what, I have to post every single day, because I don't. I do sometimes feel like, you know what, I'm going to make the effort today. I really want to post today. Yeah. Or every now and then, if it's like a Friday and I'm in a good mood, I'll probably like post myself dancing or doing something silly, you know? Yes. And then it is what it is, but that's just who I am, you know? Yes. And so now that being pregnant, I'm like, okay, now here comes all of the pregnancy stuff and, you know, the baby. So I made it a little bit more private for that matter. But outside of that, like, I still want to continue growing and putting myself out there too. And having that healthy balance and that healthy growth, I guess I should say.
That's great. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's great. I think this is a really nice conversation to have about social media, because I feel like I had this like TOXICA, like canceled. No, can't. But it's hard. It's hard having a podcast and not having a social media presence and a personal one, and then having a business and not having a personal social media presence.
There were times, I do have to tell you, there were times where I didn't take down my social media, or I didn't delete it, but I deleted the apps on my phone. And it was more because I'm such I really focus on like self-development now, because I went from being pretty good mentally strong to not, like the complete opposite, and being at like rock bottom to like then building myself back up. And so a lot of the times for me, it was more like, I need to take a break from this and make sure I focus on maybe like reading a book or my 10 pages a day, making sure I do my meditation, making sure I do this without the distractions, because it was so easy.
Right here.
You know, you kind of have to do those things, you know, because otherwise I get distracted.
It's easy to pick it up.
And just next thing you know, it's like
all of a sudden, it's fucking
20 minutes,
1 a.m, you're like, shit.
Exactly. So I was like, I'm doing it more so because I really need to make sure that, number one, I'm not what you put into what you see and what you hear, it goes into your brain is a muscle. So you kind of also have to feed your brain with that, with the positivity, with good things for you. And so that's kind of like where I did it, where I gave myself maybe like a 1 week or 2 week break, but then that was it.
Brought it back.
Yeah, brought it back.
Fuck, I don't know what I want to cook for me. It's like, shit, I don't know what I want to cook for dinner. TikTok. And then get inspired. And then with what I have, I cook and I make a really excellent meal. But Chris, another question for you that just popped up in my head. Do you feel pressure how do you feel being very young and successful within your own small business? And do you feel any outside pressures or inside pressures, or do you pressure yourself, or how do you feel with the pressure of the stressful moments? How do you handle those? How does that work for you?
Definitely a lot of pressure on myself, because I mean, it's not typical. You know what I mean? A lot of realtors, especially, I mean, everybody and their mothers knows a realtor, right? Yeah. It's a very competitive industry. But being young, yes, I definitely put a lot of pressure on myself. Going back to what, me and my therapist and his comments. I rarely give myself any like pats on the shoulder. And my reasoning behind that, and I read this quote in a book once, is the moment comfort kills. The moment you become proud is the moment you stop performing. Never be too proud of yourself. I agree with you. Give yourself that tiny little thing, but other than that, pretend like it never fucking happened. Pretend like it never ever happened. Easier said than done. And that's probably more of like a competitive and a champion mindset. Highly suggest you both, by the way, watch. I don't know if you guys watched the Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance.
I have not.
That guy.
I haven't.
Oh, you guys should definitely watch it.
We have to watch it.
I mean,
can we do a movie night?
We should. We totally should. We totally should.
There you go.
We should totally do that. No, but like that guy. I mean, he's such an inspiration. After watching that, I watched it 3 times.
Fuck yeah, let's do it again. 4. Fourth
let's do it.
Let's do it. The charm.
He would literally create and make up a situation in his head before a game. Sometimes, like, oh, this player on this team talks shit to me. It never happened. But he would create that in his head
to fuel
to have that more, that fire, that gasoline, whatever the fuel, whatever you want to call it, the motivation to go to beat that team by 2 points or 1 point, which is winning at the end of the day, right? So I almost kind of sort of mirroring that, maybe not to like that extent. He's a lunatic. He is an absolute
We have lunatic. To watch the documentary.
I highly suggest it. I mean, it's just crazy. I kind of relate to it a little bit.
Dude,
Again, I'm not saying I'm Michael Jordan of real estate, obviously, but like I do kind of value that. A lot of people don't understand, but it's a crazy thing.
And it's crazy that you say that too, because it's like that's exactly how I feel whenever I accomplish something. A lot of the times, Christian is the one who kind of pumps the brakes a little bit, because it's like I'm always what's next? What's next? What's the next move? What can I do next? And I never really give myself credit for where I am. And a lot of the times that Christian kind of creates that balance for me, because it's like sometimes it's like I don't know why, but I don't see my accomplishments like something to be necessarily like carry them with pride. I'm happy and I feel accomplished, but I don't necessarily be like, oh, look at what I've done. Look at what I have. I feel like I've done nothing and I'm still chasing.
I think that's
because you are so focused on the carrot to fucking chase. And when you're chasing a carrot, it's like, yes, it's passion. It's like a new love. You're driving, you're driven. You want to chase that carrot. You want to get there. And then you get there in the next carrot, because if you stop chasing a carrot, it's kind of like,
What am I doing? Where am I going?
A realization moment. And so I can see that in you within, like, there's always another carrot to chase. And I think it runs in the family because I'm the same fucking way.
And even when I don't necessarily have a specific carrot, I'm already formulating what I'm going after, because the way I envision my life, and it's the best way that I always explain it to Christian. It's like your game. Your life is a chess game. And you have to go after that win. And so every single decision you make, it's going to be a move that's going to move you closer to that, or is, you got to figure out what chess piece to move in order for you to, get that win. Yeah. And so basically sometimes when I'm about to make a decision, I'm like, okay, is this moving me closer to that, or is this taking from that?
Yeah.
Obviously our end goal, as a unit now that we're going to be a family for Christian and I, it's like that financial independence. And we're always, playing around with the ideas of like, you know what, we're willing to put in the work for whatever it takes. Mm-hmm. And we're willing to give the time, the dedication, or, all of that. And to be able to create that carrot that we need to chase and do what we have to do.
But it's also okay to say, fuck it, I want to spoil myself a little bit in this sense, because
treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Oh, yeah, you're human too,
always,
right?
100%.
You guys, I have a funny story about the carrot to chase, because it was just in my mind. Funny story. I was at the gym the other day and I was thinking about the carrot to chase, because I love chasing carrots. And I was thinking about the carrot to chase, and I look over and I see this guy, and he's like kind of looking at me. He has a long, not like in a romantic way, but we kind of like looked at each other because I looked over at him.
You had a moment.
But he had this long beard. And it kind of shaped like a carrot, and he was a redhead. So, so I'm thinking,
there's my carrot. Manifest destiny.
You will never ever see this. I absolutely don't know who the fuck you are. You will never ever see this. But this man was this like, he kind of had, it was kind of red, kind of orange, the carrot. Oh, and I look over, I was like, it could be that carrot to chase, right. It was weird. It was fucking weird. God. It was weird, but it was really funny. I was like, I fucking can't with myself. It's just Tita being Tita. It's one of the situations.
Tita at its finest.
Tita at its finest. I'm like, is that the carrot? God, is that the carrot? Is this a sign? Thinking about the carrot, and then I look over at him like, bitch, that's crossing the line. This poor man probably doesn't even think of himself like that at all. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But
you're my zanahoria, señor.
Usted es mi zanahoria, oiga. And he probably does not speak Spanish either. But anyways, well, you guys, I think that this can finalize our episode. And I am really happy to have you back here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for being back.
We'll do a 1-year anniversary. We popped the champagne for the 1-year anniversary. And I can't wait to have you back in the foreseeable future.
I love it.
So thank you for
Any
coming.
last minute closing thoughts, guys? No. Other than a thank you. Thank you
very much.
Thank you guys. Yeah. Thank you guys. Yeah. Don't be scared. And if you are scared and it's uncomfortable, posting on social media, whatever it is, don't forget, comfort kills. Pressure makes diamonds.
Woo! Pressure does make diamonds.
Let's get it.
I drank it all. Sorry.